Hi, welcome to Social Research Insights. Today I'm going to give a brief description as how to install some of the required software to deal with STM8 and also ST-Link V2. We are going to do some experiments by using these two modules. I mean the electronic gadgets for further, the forthcoming tutorials. I'll be teaching you how to do very basic programming through STM8, and to work with these two devices we need some certain software that need to be installed in our computer, and we need two softwares. That is, number one, SDCC, Small Devices C Compiler, and the second one is a driver for ST-Link V2. And I'm going to show you how to install this software in Ubuntu Linux 16.04. This is actually the software component, or I should say STM8 S103 F3 P6, which I explained in one of my previous tutorials. It is pretty straightforward to understand the constitution of this particular device. It has 20 pins, and there is a microcontroller, microprocessor, which need to be manufactured by the ST Microelectronics of Switzerland. But most of these modules, the model which you are looking at right now, is actually the Chinese version, and I even don't know whether it is a genuine microcontroller, whether it has a genuine microcontroller on board. But anyway, we will be using this component for programming in our tutorials. So right now I'm going to show you how to install SDCC first, and in my second step I'll be showing you how to download and install the software required to work with ST-Link V2. This is actually the programmer which we need to have to transform the code written in the computer to the electronic module. Okay, so the first step is going to be how to install SDCC. So for that, I strongly advise you to go to a website known as SourceForge, but you need not search for the SourceForge online. You just have to type SDCC, and I'm sure the very first URL for this the input will be the sourceforge.net, as you have been seeing here. You just have to click the URL, and it will redirect you to the SourceForge SDCC portal of the SourceForge repository. I just want to stop you here and explain a little bit about what this software is all about. The small device SDCC, the abbreviation SDCC stands for the Small Device C Compiler, and it supports most of the microcontrollers, as it was written in the description. It supports the Intel series microcontrollers. I think most of you, if you are watching this video, you should be familiar with, of course, at least very basics of the microcontrollers or microprocessors. And Intel microcontrollers has some certain peculiar names like 8031, 8032, 8051, 8052, etc. And this SDCC, which stands for Small Device C Compiler, supports most of the Intel based microprocessors or microcontrollers, and it also supports some of the microcontrollers manufactured by the Maxim, the formerly known as the Delos micro systems, and the name of which, one of the familiar names from the Delos is DS80C390. And it also, this tool chain also supports, the compiler, also supports the Freescale microcontrollers. Formerly it was Motorola. The name of this series starts with SC08, S08. And there is also a series of microcontrollers with the name Zilog. It has a name Z80, and it is also helpful to work with ST Microelectronics but it supports only one module, that is STM8. But for STM32 I'm going to create separate video tutorials. Right now I'm explaining how to work with STM8. So for STM8 I suggest SDCC instead of Eclipse, with because installing all these softwares in Ubuntu is not straightforward, and for beginners it gives a lot of pangs, and you need to understand the very basic mechanisms of Unix or Linux. So anyway, to me actually installing the software in Linux is not that difficult, but unfortunately most of the world is well acquainted with Windows, so people often don't take freely to Linux when they think about installation of the software. So this is one of the important obstacles while we install the software, especially for this electronic design and automation for IoT. So now we just have to go to a particular section called download, and that will redirect to the SourceForge main repository, where you will find the software with certain version names, and here you will find the SDCC for different platforms, and I am interested in the Linux distribution, the software which is useful for the Linux operating system. And right now we have 3.6.0, the version of SDCC is 3.6.0, the previous version is 3.5.0, but the 3.5.0 is sufficient. But in case if somebody is interested in the very new version, then we can just simply click on that link, and we can download the very first link, and after that we can just extract this binaries to one of the locations on the computer, operating system, and from there, after little configuration, we can start working with this software. But whereas you need not worry about all this uncompressing and setting up the environment variables in your operating system, I will just take the straightforward way. You just have to go to the terminal. So the shortcut for which is Alt Control T or Control Alt T. You just have to install. We have a very straightforward method to install SDCC, because SDCC is available from the package manager. So the procedure to install any software in Ubuntu Linux, especially through the terminal, is sudo apt get install and software name. So here we would like to install SDCC. I'll stop at C and I don't type the last letter. Let me see whether this software is available from the software package manager or not. To do that, we just have to double press the tab button on the keyboard, so that it will list out the possible and suitable names for which we are in search of. So from this activity, it is very clear and straightly intuitive to me that there is a package called SDCC and SDCC doc and also SDCC libraries. Let us see what version it is. We'll see the version number later after installing the SDCC. So right now what I do, I will try to install SDCC libraries and SDCC UCSim. I don't know whether it is required or not, but anyway, I just thought that anyway I have. But SDCC doc might not be necessary for basic operations, but I think we don't have the development binaries required for the development. Okay, let us confine our activity to this. Now press OK. Give your password. I think I need 57.8 MB disk space to install this software. Okay, I press yes. Now it will take me further. I should be able to install. So let me pause my video and I'll come back after installation was done. So I did not pause my video, I just wanted to show you how. So the the software was fetched, and the operating system is trying to set up this software for our use. Okay, now at this time we can go ahead and test which version of SDCC we have been working with. To do so, first clear the console, SDCC, press tab, so C version. So I think we have the version number 3.5, so this is okay. So we don't have very recent version, which is the 3.6. Here you can see 3.6.0, which I have shown you earlier. This is a very recent version. In case if somebody would like to have the very recent version, you can just download the binaries from here, and you just have to uncompress them to some certain location in your operating system. So that's all about installing SDCC, which is small device C compiler, which we need to work with STM8. So here there is information as with what microcontrollers one can work with. So MCS51, Z80, Z180, R2, KR3, KA, ZBZ80, TLC, and something blah blah blah. We have here STM8. So this software can help us to program the STM8. So that's all about how to install the small device C compiler in Ubuntu 16.04. So if you like my video, press like and subscribe to my video channel. Stay tuned for the new content. So in my next video I'm going to show you how to install the driver for ST-Link V2 in Ubuntu 16.04. Thank you for watching.